guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so flustered right now, it is like unreal. This has definitely been the hardest video I've had to film like since I started YouTube. So many things were playing me during the production of this video. My memory card totally just gave out on me towards the end of this video and I had to run out, go get a new one, go to 2 different stores, couldn't even find the one I was looking for. I settled, which I hate having to do because, you know, it's not what you wanted. The fact you have to get it anyway and, you know, spend your money is never pleasant. But thankfully, towards the end is when it started to give out on me and I was able to take all of my footage that I filmed prior to that and put it on my hard drive, so everything was safe. I just wasn't able to get my lip color filmed. The end video is like a little cheat scene. It's already had the lip color on. I just came back from trying to go get another memory card, so that's the only thing that's missing. Oh, and like me spraying myself with some setting spray, but I figure that's not too much of a big deal. This tutorial is on another fall look. I'm really excited to put out so many fall looks this season, and it is a matte brown smoky eye. I was wearing this look in my last video and I posted this look on Instagram last week. A few of you asked to do a tutorial on it, so here it is, and I personally really like it. I'm using some new techniques in this video that I was nervous about because I just didn't know how it was going to turn out, but I think it turned out really well, so I'm really excited. Also, I want to say thank you to those of you who have commented on my Instagram or have snapped me some ideas for Halloween looks. I don't know what it is. I'm not as inspired as I was last year. Last year I just had like so many ideas and like a clear vision of what I wanted to do, and this year it's just not happening. I don't know why. So I'm just asking you guys, if you have any suggestions on what tutorials I should do, please let me know down below in the comments, and we'll see what I come up with this year. I'm really excited though. Halloween is just a fun time and it's just like a sign that, you know, the holiday months are coming, which are always fun. So yeah, hope you guys like this tutorial. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! So what you're going to need to start off this look is some good old-fashioned Scotch tape, and I'm going to be aligning this to the bottom of my lash line and just making sure it's really nice and stuck on there. Then I'm taking my MAC paint pot in soft ochre as always and making sure to apply this over my entire eyelid. I like to use a nice dense fluffy brush for this. I just feel like it really smooths out the product really well and you don't have any clumps. Then going into my Morphe 35O palette, I am taking this really matte yellow shade and with a fluffy brush just really applying this to my crease and upward. Then taking this matte taupe, I am taking my Bobbi Brown eye blender brush and pushing this right into my crease back and forth in windshield wiper motions. Then taking a little bit of a warmer taupe but still matte, and on the same brush I am again running this over into my crease and then going in with a really warm brown, like a camel color, and this is actually really similar to Bobbi Brown Camel, and again with that same brush just going back and forth in my crease. Then taking my Sigma gel liner, this is in the shade Liberally Toasted. It is a really medium brown, not too dark but not too light, and applying this all over my entire bottom lid up into my crease. Then taking this reddish brown matte shade, and on my Real Techniques Essential Crease brush I am pushing this right along the edge of where that gel liner meets our crease. Then taking this cooler tone matte brown and with that same brush again running that over this entire crease area where the gel liner edge meets with our crease. Then taking this really dark, almost close to gray matte brown shadow and again layering that right on top, and then finally taking this matte brown cool tone with a little bit of green in it and again running that over the entire crease area. This whole layering process, it really helps the blending. Then taking this really dark matte brown and on a flatter brush just making sure to set our lid area. Ah, moment of satisfaction. Love when that happens. Now peeling away the tape, I am then taking that same gel liner and on my Bobbi Brown Ultra Fine Liner brush, making sure to line my inner waterline and then also to hit right just underneath my bottom lashes and connecting towards the back. Then on my MAC 212 brush, just pushing up that dark brown we put on last up into those lower lashes. Then taking a smudge brush in any one of the lighter browns that we use and really just smudging out this bottom lash line even further. And then taking a Real Hair pencil brush and just making sure to buff this out with that camel color. Then applying a quick coat of mascara onto my top lashes. So yes, I am completing the entire eye look first before the face. Very different than what we're used to, but it was my first time and I like the way it came out. Then taking some faux lashes. These are from Shop Violet Boss in Bamptress. Moving on to the face, I'm taking my Nivea Men Shave Aftershave Balm. Nivea Men Aftershave Balm and using this as our primer. I'm making sure to work this all over my face evenly. Then taking my L'Oreal Lumi Liquid Glow Illuminator in the neutral tone and applying this to the high points of my cheek and then really working that in with a damp beauty blender. This provides a really nice soft glow underneath your foundation, but intensifies highlighter that you put on over your foundation as well. Then taking the excess and running that quickly over my Cupid's bow, center of my chin lightly, and very, very lightly down the bridge of my nose just to add just a little bit of extra glow. And then taking my Maybelline Fit Me concealer in Sand and just going over any post-acne scarring that I may have just for a little bit of extra coverage. Then taking that same damp beauty blender and just on the other side of it, the flip side, making sure to work that into the skin. Then taking my MAC Prolongwear Waterproof Nourishing Foundation, I am in the shade NC25, and with the Black Beauty Blender, which is my favorite for foundation, I am making sure to really evenly work that all over my entire face. This color is a little warm and it did oxidize on me, and I find that right now I'm just really pale for my body. I haven't really been out in the sun too much, and I haven't self-tanned in a long time either. Then taking my Maybelline Master Conceal and just placing that on the usual areas. I didn't want a really intense highlight underneath the eye, so I went with a concealer that's a little bit darker than what I usually use, and placing that underneath my eye, down the bridge of my nose, center of my chin, and a little bit in the center of my forehead between my brows. Then taking that same beauty blender we used to buff out our foundation, I am using this to really press this concealer and melting it in together with our foundation. Then taking my Ben Nye Luxury Powder in Cameo and taking a dry beauty blender and packing on the powder for our baking. I like to use the butt of the beauty blender for flat surfaces like my forehead and chin, and then the corner to do the bridge of my nose, around my nostril, and just right underneath the eye. I just find that's easier to maneuver around these areas when I use those sides of the beauty blender. Then while that baked, I did my brows, and now we're blending away the baking using a dense brush and a really fluffy one. I just like the way that the finish is with this brush whenever I use it to dust off my baking. I just feel like it gives a really nice smooth finish. And just being really careful around the eye area not to get any powder onto those lashes. And then taking my Anastasia contour kit in the light to medium shades, I am taking the Havana contour powder and using this as my bronzer on a Real Techniques powder brush and making sure to push this into the hollows of my cheek and then up towards the high points of my cheek and around the temple and hairline, just to give a nice dimension all the way around. Then for contour, I am taking my Luxie angled brush and mixing the shades Fawn and Java and pushing this right into the hollows of my cheek. Then taking a smaller angled fluffy BH Cosmetics brush, I am hitting this right in between my Cupid's bow, on the bottom of my lip, and then on the tip of my nose. And lately I've been really digging a sharper nose contour, so that's exactly what we're doing, connecting this from top of my brow all the way down to the tip of my nose on both sides. Then taking up that banana highlighting powder from that same contour kit onto my Bobbi Brown sheer powder brush and then just packing that lightly underneath my eyes and the center of my forehead. Then taking up that dry beauty blender and picking up that same banana powder. I'm using this to carve out and sharpen my contour and also packing that around my smile lines just to really set it and let that bake while we put on our highlight. I am taking my Becca Cosmetics Shimmering Skin Perfector in Champagne Pop and with my Bobbi Brown eye blender brush, making sure to dust this lightly on the high points of my cheek, and I say lightly but really meaning I'm packing it on as much as I can. And then taking a smaller eyeshadow brush, just dusting it across my Cupid's bow, center chin, and down the bridge of our nose. I'm also taking the same highlighter and putting this right underneath the arch of my brow and right in my tear duct. Then taking my Bobbi Brown Almond Blush. Unfortunately, this is a discontinued blush, and I always question whether or not to use it, but we used it. Applying that to the apples all the way up to the temple, and then I'm just brushing away that baking. For lip color, I use the ColourPop Lippie Stick in Grunge. It's a matte finish. It's a nice reddish brown matte cool tone shade, and here's the cheat scene, if you will. So I already have my makeup on, but just for the sake of the video, I sprayed them with some Fix Plus, my all-nighter setting spray, and this is the completed look, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, and until next time, bye guys.